So, One Piece chapter 1014 is out, guys. As always, we get into this. And like I said last chapter, we just gonna be sticking to reviews for a while, but wow. Oh wow. Guys, there's two W's we are awarding in this chapter today. One, of course, is Kaido-sama. Always bet on Kaido-sama. And then the second one, I think that's his name for me right now. Like, it's just Kaido-sama. It's not Kaido, like his full name is Kaido-sama. Kaido is just the shortcut for Kaido-sama. And then the other one belongs to Chopper. For obvious reasons. Both of them for obvious reasons. No one else in this chapter really deserves the W. I think Yamato also deserves a kind of L, but we'll get into that. Anyway, so One Piece chapter 1014. So guys, check that out if you haven't. I don't know why you're still here, because I said that like when the video started. But you know what, let's get into it. Please, as always, do all the regular subscribe, like, something YouTube algorithm, yeah, something like that. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first thing is Kaido always just hints stuff. I think that, you know, people last chapter were talking about the fact that, oh, Luffy fell down, but we have to first see what happened. We can't just, we need to see what happened. I'm just like, we do not need to see what happened. I think based off what happened last chapter, unless you were someone like, you know, more Jews waiting to see, you know, if the raid will really fail and end like this, you did not need to wait to see what happened on the rooftop, because there was nothing interesting there. Like, I mean, of course, if we hadn't gotten the context of what was actually going on, or if you were someone who just kind of missed the whole point of how Oda writes the story, then maybe, yeah, you needed to see what happened. But if you just kept a level head and you were also paying attention to what the characters were saying, it was obvious, right? Even though Luffy seemed like he could go head to head with Kaido, Momonosuke said himself, the situation hadn't changed. He was at a disadvantage, but he was trying his hardest. So it was just very clear that Luffy would lose, because Kaido decided to, you know, give it a bit more effort, and, you know, Luffy couldn't withstand it. So that was it. But this chapter actually proved that there was something interesting that went on there. Now, I don't think we're going to really get a flashback of that moment per se, but we might get a little hint as to something that happened in the past. Back when Luffy comes back. As you know, in my last review, I said that, you know, this may be a little bit of a Skypiea moment, you know, with the flying ship where Luffy fought Enel for the first time, and then Enel did the thing with the golden ball on his hand and then kicked him off the ship, right? Now Kaido just kicked Luffy off the ship, and then, you know, it took Luffy a while to first, you know, get down, get his bearings, then come back up to fight, you know, Enel again, now Kaido again. But you know, I think he's gonna come back. I also didn't understand why people kept saying he has to be saved. Now, I just thought that, you know, he'd land on the main line of Wano, like just near like the shore, to know that now we're over the mainland, because it seems now we've almost approached, or we've kind of approached. We've even seen some structures, but yeah, we're not quite there yet, and Luffy fell in the water. Now, is this terrible? No, Luffy drowned. That was the first thing he did when he came to Wano. He drowned, and then he got up, and he didn't even know if he made it to Wano, or if he was shipwrecked somewhere else. And then that's how he met Tama. So I'm not particularly worried for Luffy at the moment. I think this is just Oda's classic way of removing Luffy from the battle until everything happens, and then bringing him back. Once again, back to Skypiea, right? Enel, right? For a while, Luffy was in the snake. Enel was wreaking havoc. He even, you know, destroyed and took down all of Luffy's allies in Skypiea while Luffy was away. And then Luffy came back to fight Enel. So it's very similar if you think about it. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't think there's anything interesting except for what Kaido mentioned, that, you know, Gamu Gamu no, what was it again? And then he's like, it wasn't good enough. And his exact words, like how should I say this? I felt like at one point I had actually said these exact words that they used in the scans, that, you know, his technique left a lot to be desired when compared to Kaido. And I've been saying this. I said, just, you know, you have Conqueror's Haki. Yes, you can train it, but it's not the strength you train, it's the technique. And Kaido says your technique leaves a lot to be desired. Of course, maybe the official used different words, but, you know, I'm sure the sentiment is still the same. You know, he doesn't have enough technique. So for those of you who are worried that he just picked up this skill and now he's as good as Roger and Whitebeard, he's not. His technique leaves a lot to be desired. But, Kaido's willing. And it also seems like Kaido knows a lot because he mentions Joy Boy in this chapter. And it's like, Kaido, what? It's like, what do you know, Kaido, right? So I think at this point, I'm going to say this right now. Kaido is the biggest spoiler we need to be wary of. People often think that, people who can spoil a series for us is Robin because she knows a lot. It's Shanks. It's people like Dragon. It's people like Garp. No. Kaido is one of them. Kaido. I don't even know. I feel like Kaido knows more than Big Mom knows, but Big Mom's known for her information network, so I don't want to jump to that conclusion just yet. But Kaido might just be up there, one of the worst guys to spoil stuff for us, but not really spoil or reveal at this point, but spoil stuff for you at this point. If Kaido is an actual person, he major spoiler alert. Because Kaido seems to know some stuff. And maybe it's just a thing of interacting with people like Roger and Zebek. Because even Whitebeard, when he was dying, he looked at Teacher and he says, "It's not you. The man that Roger is waiting for is not you." So maybe he meant Joy Boy. Maybe the one that Roger is waiting for is Joy Boy. I don't know. This is not that kind of theory video. Let's get back to the chapter. Anyway, so Kaido's just like, you know what? We're done. Let's go announce this. And I think this is the thing for me, right? The way Kaido does this is kind of like, someone challenged me. Let's go tell them what happened. Like it's a regular thing that he gets challenged, which I think it is, but is so organized. Like you can see how well Kaido has built his crew through this thing. Like, how many times does this happen where it's like so organizedly done? There's a system that communicates with everyone, that can view everyone. He's got his own assistant, his own secretary basically, that organizes his schedule, tells him what he's going to do, announces stuff for him. So it's so organized that it's really crazy. But anyway, they announce it, and for me at this point, even if Kaido goes down, Kaido was one drunk when they came to attack him. Then he fought off the scabbards, then he was a supernova, and then he was Luffy, and then it's gonna be maybe Yamato, and the list goes on. So even if Kaido goes down in the end, guys, like, really, none of these guys are on his level. Except Big Mom. But none of these guys. But back to what I was saying, we see the other person who deserves a W in this chapter, and that is Chopper. Chopper. Now, I did not expect this. I said that I wouldn't know if Chopper could keep up with Queen even in Monster Point form. And it seems like he can. It seems like he can keep up with Queen, and he's doing a fantastic job. And Caesar helped him make his Monster Point last even longer. I love that moment. I love, because every time I see moments like this with Caesar, it reminds me of this thing of a new Straw Hat Gastino is gonna join the Straw Hat crew. Oh. And who knows, maybe he's up by one point in this last chapter. But it seems very interesting to me that it's Caesar of all people who helped Chopper increase his Monster Point. Although he did say they'd be risks, so that'll be interesting to see if those actually play out, or if Chopper mitigated those using his medical skills. But, either way, he can go into Monster Point for what seems to be 30 minutes now. Now he's down to like 10 or less than 10. And it seems like, for me, the impression I'm getting is that King and Queen are not great fighters. At least that's the impression we're getting, right? Is that King and Queen know how to take punches. Are they great at fighting? No, but you're gonna tire yourself out way before they get beaten up for good. So that's what seems to be going on in Onigashima thus far. Marco has tired himself, Chopper is tiring himself out, and these two are still just chilling, like, you done? Okay. Yeah, that's really what it feels like. So, yeah. King and Queen, they're just a different kind of monster. I mean, Jack is also a different kind of monster, but I feel like that's what kind of separates Jack from King and Queen. Maybe Jack has more fighting and offensive ability and less durability than King and Queen, right? That way he kind of makes it up. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, guys, this chapter, Chopper undoubtedly, like, beastly. Chopper actually came prepared to Wano. I don't know about Frankie, where his Kaido killing weapons are. He still seems like he's struggling with Sasaki. So, I don't know. Frankie seeming a bit disappointing, but Chopper coming through with the W. And then they mentioned that Luffy lost. In the last review as well, I said that, you guys, the people who this would affect more if Luffy is shown to lose. Not said that he lost, shown. Is, the weaker Straw Hats, right? And as we can see here, right, their reactions, you can clearly see the difference between someone like Nami and Usopp's reaction versus Zoro and Sanji, right? Zoro and Sanji, they know, they've been with Luffy thus far, right? Luffy is not like Kaido. Luffy is not the person who one-on-one bet on Luffy to win the first time round, right? Luffy is the guy who he'll lose and he'll keep coming back and come back and come back until he wins and helps everyone. So that's the kind of person that these guys decide to follow, and that's the kind of person who's gonna come back and beat Kaido in the end. This is just a minor setback, as it always is in every arc. But, these guys are like, we're not joining your crew, and makes sense. Makes sense that these guys would be the ones who say that. And if you actually look at all these Straw Hats faces, apart from Usopp and Nami, none of them seem very perturbed at the news. None of them are like... None of them are very disturbed. I mean, Frankie does seem like he's disturbed, but that's because they said that Kaido slaughtered him. And, Frankie was like, huh? But apart from that, you have to give Frankie, some wiggle room. Because if they just said they slaughtered your captain, it's like, whoa, watch what you're saying. Because I think you said it wrong. Okay. But the rest of them are just all okay. And then comes, a disappointing moment. Actually, not yet. So first we get this moment, which, honestly... If you ask me, it seems like all the scabbers are dying at this point. I'll hold it and say maybe only the ones who travel into the future are all dying, and maybe it's got something to do with that. I don't know. But it seems in this chapter another interesting hint was that Momo heard or saw something. This is something similar to what we saw when Momo first heard Zunisha. So it's interesting, what did he hear now? Is the skull speaking to him? That's the only big object that's there? And I've been thinking about this. Is the skull alive? Is the sword? Is it like a haki, that massive sword is still speaking to Momonosuke? I'm trying to figure this out. Someone please explain this to me. But anyway, Momonosuke is in pain. Now, if he just saw Luffy lose, he wouldn't be in pain. He'd know it and he'd be scared, but he wouldn't be in pain. But there's something, and he tells Kinemon, but unfortunately Kinemon can't get the news to anyone because everybody here got taken out except for Shinobu, but we don't know if Shinobu heard anything. Anyway, this whole thing happens between Kanjuro, Kiku, and Kinemon, and honestly, it was very quick paced. So that's unfortunate, but I loved the whole moment. I could feel it. I could feel everything rushing, the emotions, the intent behind it, and it was honestly great. Like I said, it seems like all the scabbers are dying at this rate, or at least the ones who into the future, because Kinemon seems to have been dealt a very serious blow. Kiku a very serious blow. Kanjuro a very serious blow after he said he's already dying. So, do we still have anyone left from the future? Raizo may be the last guy to actually die. Ashura Dojo may be dead, but who knows? Like, all the scabbers seem to be dying. And guys, where is Denjiro? Don't forget this guy. Let it not slip our minds that this guy just disappeared. We need to keep tabs. Anyway, so as always, Kanjuro arrives, then Kiku hesitates. Kiku gets got, Kinemon gets Kanjuro, then Kaido comes in. And this is where I say Yamato took the L. Yamato's itch to fight has taken her away from the one place she needed to be the most with Momonosuke, right? If Yamato was here, she could have gotten the fight she wanted immediately, but she ruined it. She ruined it for herself. So this is the L. I think Oda planned this to take Yamato somewhere else. So I want to see what Oda's planned for Yamato. Is Yamato just going to run around until Oda finds a place? Because that's what seemed like it happened with Sanji. And I don't know how I feel about that still. That Sanji was just made to run around until he was made relevant again. So, but we'll see how it goes. Overall, I like the panels. The double spreads, the Kanjuro cutting, Kinemon cutting Kanjuro, all that. I loved it, guys. tell me what you think, tell me how you feel, all that down in the comment section below. As always, great chapter. Just a great chapter. I'm looking at this page right now. Actually, let me just check something real quick. I know I'm not supposed to do this. Oh, okay, yes. Okay. So guys, like, I think for the past couple of weeks, I always forget to check for colored pages, and here we get some colored pages. Now, I don't know. I just somehow imagine the Kinemon cutting Kanjuro slightly differently colored in my head, so I don't know how I feel about that one. It's great. It's great coloring, but it's because I had different expectations in my head, it feels a bit jarring to see. But on the other hand, I'm really loving this Kaido versus Kinemon that we've got going on here. So it seems like Kaido's coming in for the cleanup, like Enel did back in Sky Island, and that's what, you know, everyone is just. So it'd be interesting to see. I think whatever Luffy did in the beginning, you know, previously to Kaido, he's gonna rework that and come back with a better version of it. Who knows? It may have been a new form of Gear 4th which didn't work out well that he tried, and then now he's gonna rework it, or it may just be an attack that we know. Because it's very interesting that Kaido even remembered the name of the attack. Like, how many villains actually remember the name of Luffy's attacks? Ask yourself that question. I'm pretty sure that at most we can count on one hand and still have extra fingers. But yeah, we'll come back and we'll see how things are going. Anyway, let me end the video because I could go on and on and on, right? But as always, guys, please like the video if you liked it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video if you know someone who needs to hear the truth. If you have time, I have many videos on my channel, so go check those out. And as always, guys, King KZ, I'll see you in the next one.